Welcome back to the Explainer team. All right, grab your tool belts because today we're stepping right into the shoes of frontline technical detectives. You know the drill. If you've ever dealt with mysterious network drops, you know finding that root cause is literally half the battle. But what if we've been looking in the completely wrong place this whole time? Well, today we're going to break down the very first phase of troubleshooting. We're focusing exactly on what's sitting right in front of the customer. Let's get into it.
Seriously, I want you to ask yourself, why do so many field technicians drive all the way out to the cell tower before checking the absolute easiest fix? I mean, it's human nature, right? A customer complains about a massive network issue, and our immediate instinct is to just blame the macro level, the massive cell tower beaming signal across the city. We immediately want to go check the heavy cables and those huge antennas. But listen, I want to intercept that urge right now. I'm challenging you to stop jumping straight to the macro level, because honestly, the smartest techs out there know the most effective fix is often sitting right in the palm of the user's hand.
Section 1. The first troubleshooting step. So our job actually doesn't begin miles away at the cell site. It starts right at the device itself. We call this user equipment, or UE. It's the primary device, usually just the customer smartphone, used directly by the end user to connect to the cellular network. And it's the absolute crucial first link in this whole network chain. It's so vital to remember that a massive percentage of network tickets can be resolved completely at this level, literally without ever touching a single tower cable. By fully understanding the UE, you become incredibly efficient. You save time, you save yourself a long drive, and most importantly, you fix the customer's problem instantly. Which brings us to Section 2, SIM registration failures. Okay, so what exactly happens when that UE just completely refuses to connect? I know you've heard this a million times. My phone shows no service. Or maybe they're getting that dreaded SIM card error. The customer is basically in full panic mode, completely cut off from the world. Now, remember our golden rule here. The tower down the street, it's probably working perfectly fine, but their specific device is somehow locked out of the network. So, why? Well, the usual culprits are hiding right inside the phone itself. We're usually looking at physical damage to the SIM card, maybe some dirt or grease on those little golden contact pads, or even just an incorrect APN software setting. So here is your rapid-fire triage playbook. Step 1, physical cleaning. Pop that SIM out, inspect it for any deep scratches, and gently, and I mean gently, wipe those golden pads with an alcohol wipe. You just want to remove any grease or debris. Step 2, APN verification. Go into the phone software and verify that the APN settings actually match your operator's official profile. And finally, Step 3. If you've done all that, you've checked the network logs, and the phone still shows no service, well, that chip is likely dead. Time for a SIM swap. Just execute a database swap, hand them a fresh, activated card, and boom, they are back online instantly. Absolutely zero tower visits required. Moving on to Section 3, overcoming indoor signal blockage. Now, what if the hardware is completely flawless, the SIM is pristine, but the connection still fails? You're definitely going to hear this classic line. The signal is perfect outside, but it completely drops in my basement. And, this is incredibly frustrating for the user, mostly because they know a perfectly good network exists right outside their front door. But this is the moment where we have to pivot away from a hardware issue and start thinking about environmental physics. It is our job to understand exactly why this happens, and more importantly, how to work around it. Just think about the stark contrast in these two environments. Outside, the user gets full signal bars and perfectly unobstructed high-frequency paths. But the second they step inside, zero signal. Nothing. The thing is, high-frequency cellular bands, especially when we're talking about 4G and 5G, they absolutely struggle to penetrate heavy concrete, tinted glass, and dense steel structures. The hardware isn't broken, the tower isn't broken, the signal is literally just hitting a physical wall it can't pass through. Now, obviously, we can't change the laws of physics, right? But we can use some really smart workarounds. And your fix here is going to depend entirely on the scale of the problem. For a single office user, your go-to solution is Wi-Fi, voice over Wi-Fi. You just have them enable it in their settings, and suddenly their voice calls are routing safely right over their local Wi-Fi network. It completely bypasses the cell tower altogether. Super easy. But what if you're dealing with a massive corporate building or VIP clients? Yeah, Wi-Fi isn't going to scale for an entire facility. That is exactly when the field team needs to step in and install a DAS, a distributed antenna system. This essentially acts as a mini signal repeater right inside the building, completely bypassing all that structural blockage. It's a real game changer for large spaces. All right, let's wrap this up with Section 4, the field technician's summary. Let's really lock in these absolute best practices before your next shift. First takeaway, Always, always isolate the device and the SIM before you even think about looking at the tower. Test the easiest path first. Second, keep that alcohol wipe handy in your toolkit. Honestly, you would be shocked at how many tickets a quick, simple wipe can close. And third, leverage Wi-Fi calling as your immediate go-to workaround for any structural blockage. By making these steps a habit, you're going to save massive amounts of time. You'll fix the customer's pain point immediately, and you'll close your tickets with maximum efficiency.
So, you've officially mastered phase 1. But I want to leave you with a bit of a provocative thought to chew on. If the phone is merely the first link in this massive network chain, what secrets does the cell tower hold? Think about it. If the issue isn't a dead SIM and it isn't a thick concrete wall, what actually happens when we finally do have to investigate the macro level? Well, keep troubleshooting, keep isolating those variables, and I'll see you next time on The Explainer as we dive into the mysteries of the tower.